the last video I posted, I was talking about like how our food is poison and just crazy things like that, right? I'm still kind of on that, but not so much. Let's just hop right into it. When I was in high school, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is like a bowel problem, and I was healed of it, thank you Jesus. And over the years, I'm not going to go into this story in detail, that might be like a different video, because I just want to tell you guys kind of like some stuff I've been learning. Like, this is like just like so cool. So I've been learning, he is so gracious. There are many ways to be healed, I am learning. But when I first was healed, I was like, this is the only way to be healed, which was believing that Jesus paid for it on the cross and it was a done deal, which is true. And so I did that, and I was declaring like that by his stripes I'm healed, and then one day I was healed, and it worked, right? Over the years, I've had it come back and have been healed, had it come back, have been healed. And like until recently I came across this one fellow that I really like listening to, and he taught me about emotional healing. And I realized, I clued in after all these years of like these flare-ups of ulcerative colitis. If you don't know what it is, just go search it up. And I realized that when I first had it, it was because of an emotional trauma that had happened when I was in high school and had caused the issue. And when I would have these flare-ups, it was usually like a connection to me emotionally being triggered by what first brought it on when I was in high school, and which is very interesting. So when I went through like this emotional healing stuff, I would then be healed physically, which is just so cool. And I was like, oh, now this is all I need. Before, the first time I got healed was like just declaring, you know, over my body like the promises of the Lord, which worked. And then the second time was like through emotional like trauma and like wounds through a bad breakup and, you know, strong negative feelings. And I got healed through that. And now, which is really cool. So, and now I've had another flare up in this thing that I was diagnosed with, but God is so good and he's gracious. And this time around, I've realized that it's not spiritual, because we're a 3-part being. So it's not spiritual that I'm being affected. I don't believe it's demonic. So we're a 3-part being. We're spirit, soul, and body. So I don't think it's a spiritual problem. I have tended to that area of my life. I don't think it's a demonic problem. I don't think it's a soulish problem, which would have been emotions, because I don't feel triggered, I don't feel anxious, I don't feel stressed. There's just nothing, but I'm still having this issue. So now I'm on the third thing that is our makeup of human beings, which is the body. And it's so interesting because it's like, I feel like some people are, yeah, like word of faith, kind of like just you can name everything and are drawn to it. But it's like, but you need to also take care of your body. And there are ways that like God has created our body to heal itself, right? So I have felt led to pursue the physical way of healing this, which there are ways, and I never even knew that. Like, I just came across this one lady, and she specializes in like the digestive area and like with this specific problem. She's from the United States though, and she recommends me just to find someone in Edmonton, which is just so interesting. And I also have a friend who has the same problem and then was fixed it through like physical body dietary needs. It's like you take things out and then you slowly reintroduce them, but it's not just like your eggs, dairy, and gluten things that you just take out. Like most people think of like an allergen, which that can be, but you do like a certain test and then you actually find like what doesn't work for your body. So for example, like maybe you think tomatoes, like avocados, you know, whole grains are like good for your body because it like Google and, you know, we all think that like, oh, that's healthy stuff for you, but in reality your body could be like, no, I actually can't do that right now, like that's not helping me at all. So we're all unique, we're all different. And then this one test is called a GI map, goes through like what your body needs and what it's rejecting specifically to your own body, which is just so cool. Of not like, oh yeah, just omit eggs, dairy, and gluten and you'll be fine. It's like, no, maybe it's those tomatoes or maybe it's those blueberries that are your problem, right? And then when everything's upset down there, nothing really helps. So that's why we just gotta omit the things, do it, and like be perfect. So but what was I saying?